guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sharing with you our top bucket list destinations for early retirement.
Yeah, these are places that we wanted to get to while we still had the mobility and the health to do them. And so these are places we've all been. It's our top 10 places that we think you should put on your list. If you're trying to think of one or two places to go, let these be some ideas for you to do early on in your retirement, because some of them can be more challenging the older you would get. So let's just jump right in. We're going to run over the top 10. And the first one is Norway. We have two locations in Norway. The first one is the Lofton Islands, which is a beautiful place to go, and you can even see the northern lights there.
Yeah, and I think if you've seen pictures of Norway, you likely have seen a picture from Lofton. It's a beautiful mountain in the background with the beautiful little red houses down on the side. That's what you've seen. That's Lofton. That's a beautiful place. And yes, you could see the northern lights there, but we also went to a little bit lesser known place there as well, known as Senja.
Yeah, we went to Senja and we stayed there and did some hiking, and it was just a beautiful hike. It's a very remote island. In fact, you're driving through like one-lane tunnels. There was construction going on while we were driving through them. But we hiked up this mountain to one of the most beautiful places we've ever seen in the world. And this is such a remote area. We got up to the top and we were the only people up there on this mountain. This was in 2019, so there was nothing going on in the world yet. It's just a remote area. So if you go there and you rent a car, that's the kind of experience that you'll remember for a lifetime. I think in the Lofton Islands, we rented one of those kind of houses right on the lake, and we actually saw northern lights from our bed. So that was quite an experience.
Yeah, I think being in one of those roorboos, those, with the red coloring on the outside right there on the water, was absolutely fabulous.
And if you're into photography at all, that is one of the best places you could go. So Iceland at the top, or Norway at the top of the list. Next up, though, is Iceland.
Iceland.
Gave it away there, yeah.
And Iceland is one of those places that you just don't know what to expect. You just think to yourself, it's just going to be frozen over. It's called Iceland, right? But you get there and it's almost like you've landed on another planet. Everything looks so different and it is so, so beautiful. Can't even really use words to describe the beauty of Iceland and everything that it has to offer. I mean, we spent nearly 2 weeks there. We didn't even see half of what we could have because there was so much to see, and we just wanted to take our time and just kind of inhale the experiences there. And of course, as you well know, Iceland is also very famous for the northern lights, and we were there at the right time of the year for that too.
It was. Iceland has some of the most picturesque waterfalls in the world. I love to see waterfalls, love to hike to waterfalls, so we did that a lot also. But Iceland, just beautiful. I think definitely those are two of the best places you could go. You definitely want to have your mobility though, because some of the hikes in Iceland, you can get to like the immediate waterfall, but if you go past it, you'd be able to see something so much greater. So we did spend some extra time hiking there, and it was well worth the time that we did that.
Yeah. All right, what's next on the
Next
list?
one's going to be Tokyo, and we just went there a few months ago, and it really blew us away, didn't it?
Tokyo was so unexpected. It had so much to offer. We were actually in Japan, the country of Japan, for 7 weeks, and spent about 3 of those weeks in Tokyo itself, split up in different times, and it was just absolutely amazing. It's so memorable, it's so picturesque, there's so many things you can say about Japan and about Tokyo.
Yeah, and a lot of people get the sense that Tokyo is really expensive, and the housing is really expensive, but everything else we found to be cheaper than in the US, like food, anything else you need to buy, not that expensive. So if you can do something about your housing, that's going to be the big difficult spot for you. But if you do something about that, It's really not that bad there once you get there, and right now is a good time to go because the exchange rate is great for us as Americans in Japan.
Yeah, and so speaking of expensive, the next place on the list is known for being expensive, and it is expensive, and that is Switzerland.
Switzerland is expensive, yeah.
But it is totally worth it.
Totally
It's worth, I mean, the pictures you've seen of it don't even come close to doing it justice to how gorgeous the entire country is. We spent 8 days there, and we traversed the entire country, saw everything there was, and we were not disappointed once. I can't count how many times I had to keep lifting my jaw up because I was like,
yeah. We did get the rail pass there, which was kind of pricey. Just going from memory, it was several $100s, like $700 or $800 a piece. But we did use it. We rode about 30 to 40 trains in that 8 days, which was just, unlimited trains. And I think the highlight of going to Switzerland, if you're going there, you don't want to miss it, go to Lauterbrunnen. That is just a beautiful place. We spent some just magical days walking around that valley and stayed in a wonderful hotel there with a balcony that just kind of overlooked a waterfall and the mountains, and just amazing. Got to go see the North Face. So many amazing things in Switzerland. It is expensive though, and you will be moving around a lot because you're really trying to maximize your money.
We did. That's probably the one place we moved like every day or two. We were like fugitives. We moved around so much. We were trying to get our money's worth too out of those train passes.
You will get your money's worth. Next one, you don't need to move around quite as much. It's Rome, Italy. Definitely a bucket list and on the top 10 because there's so many iconic sights to see there, from the Colosseum, which is beautiful, to everything else that Rome has to offer.
There is just so much. And I think the other thing that a lot of times people don't think about also is that Rome during the daytime and Rome during the nighttime are two completely different things, and you need to spend time doing both all of those activities in both the daytime and in the nighttime because it is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and Rome is a little bit cheaper if you do it right. Of everything on this list so far, Rome is probably the least expensive of the other four. The other four are quite pricey, so you're not going to be able to do them as long. We've stayed for months in Italy, and you can do that pretty inexpensively. Food is amazing. Housing is great. So Rome is definitely one you could put on your list and actually plan to spend quite a bit of time there if you'd like. Unlike the next one, which is Santorini. This was something that you really wanted to do, right?
Yes, it had been high on my list for a very long time, and we did splurge here and took this trip for our anniversary. I'm trying to think which one, 26, I think?
Yeah.
26th wedding anniversary we spent in Santorini, and it was everything that I had hoped it would be. And it was not the cheapest, but we did the best we could do there. We had a great time, had a gorgeous villa overlooking the caldera, private pool, everything, breakfast included each day, delivered to our villa. It was stunning. I would definitely recommend that.
Another one of your favorites, I think, was the next one on the list, which is Bali. And
yes.
We've been there several times. We've gone quite a different range of accommodations in Bali. We did spend about a month in a hotel in Bali, and we do that quite often now, actually, because it's such a good deal at the Marriott there in Bali. And we do that because it's extremely cheap. Like, if you're paying a cash rate, it's like $30 or $40 a night. If you're paying with points, it's less than 5,000 points a night. And it's an amazing place.
Yeah, beautiful resorts there. Bali has so much to offer, and it's just a beautiful experience. You really have to go to know what you're missing out on. But Bali is one of those top destinations that's a must-see.
And we've also, in Bali, gone kind of really high-end. Probably the nicest place we've ever stayed in is in Bali, and it really wasn't the most expensive place we've ever stayed in. But you can get a lot for your money there. If you really want to go for an anniversary trip, you can take a look at some of the houses we've stayed in there. They're just gorgeous. These are $1 million houses, and they don't cost $1 million in Bali. So good place to go if you just kind of want to make a big splash for a week and have something that you probably couldn't afford in another country.
Yeah. Next one is in the country of Jordan, and it is to see Petra. And you've probably seen pictures from it, and you saw a glimpse of it in the Indiana Jones movie, but it is really spectacular. Like, I don't know what I was expecting to see. I guess sometimes, you know, you're a little scared of being disappointed when you get there and not really it being as great as you thought it would be, but you get there and it's that and so much more. Actually seeing it in person, it's just so massive when you're walking down to it and you start to see it through those cracked rocks as you're walking down. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we did this one from a cruise, actually. It was a cruise that was a 21-day cruise. Went from Rome to Dubai and got to do this as a shore excursion. So that was a great way to do it because it could be kind of hard to navigate on your own. And we loved every bit of it. And it was something that we would definitely recommend that you do. Which, speaking of which, that cruise, the next one was also a bucket list of ours. We've seen Dubai for many, many years since we were very young and always dreamed of going there. And so we finally did on that cruise. The cruise ended in Dubai, and then we got to spend a week there.
Yeah, Dubai was an absolute top bucket list destination for us for many years. I think it was when they built the Burj Al Arab and they had the golf or the helipad and they had Tiger Woods hitting the golf ball off of it. Mm-hmm. I think it kind of just, you know, burned into my brain how gorgeous it was. And I wanted to see it in person. It's not enough to just see it on TV and see pictures of it. Some of these things you want to see in person, and it was absolutely stunning, not just on the outside, but we actually booked a meal, a lunch in one of the restaurants, so we were actually able to get onto the property, see it on the inside, and it was really just spectacular.
Yeah, that was stunning. And then we've got Athens, Greece, which should be a bucket list destination for anyone. So much history there, and it's really an inexpensive place to go. I think it's been one of the more inexpensive places to go that is just steeped in history. If you're looking for that history on a budget, Rome and Athens would be a great combination because they are affordable and just amazing. We rented an Airbnb in Athens, and our rooftop deck had a view of the Acropolis with sunset at night. It was amazing.
It was stunning.
And it wasn't like you'd think we're paying $2,000-$3,000 a month or something like that. I think it was more like $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, something like that for the month. So it was really economical, and the food just really, really good.
I mean, Greek food is, you know, it was unbelievable. It was actually a really fabulous experience, and probably little known secret, if you're a cat lover, you will love Athens. Just keep that in mind when you visit and you'll remember why. Or those of you that have been, you know why I said that.
Yeah, so those are our top 10 bucket list items that we went to in our early retirement, and I recommend every single one of them. They were all fabulous.
Absolutely. Hopefully this was helpful to you as you're putting together a list for your travels for early retirement. If you have any questions about any of these, leave those down in the comments, or you can check out one of our other channels where we do share some more of the videos of these trips that we've done before.